Sup nerds, welcome to the Omni4Game podcast, episode 72. I am Sean, and I'm joined with Chris and Brandon as always.
Sup guys, this week's Omni4Game recap. We go over our locals as always, and you've heard of first local recap. What about second local recap? And then after that we look at some top lists, we do our weekly reveals, talk about some very poor decisions, and then comment questions as always. So if you guys like this, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Alright, first topic. I guess we can do the Tuesday locals recap first. I'll go first. I played...
I have to go first.
Oh, sorry, yeah. My bad.
My local recap is I didn't go.
That's right, you didn't. Because you were busy dealing with your house stuff.
Still ongoing.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
Okay.
I just didn't go.
I'll go first. I took Ancient Toolbox. And I found out that deck, I mean, I kind of already knew this, but that deck hard loses to wall decks. So, like, Magna
what are you doing with Magna?
Magna X and Gallant X specifically are very difficult to deal with if they see the War Growl X. Angels actually isn't that bad because if you ruin mode them, you can clear out all their level 5s. And a lot of times there's going to be Angel 1 month and stuff. It's still an uphill matchup, but like it's actually more manageable than the other two. I played Magnex DNA round 1 versus Chris. My only hope is basically just to outspeed him before he gets to his Magna X. Didn't work. I got 2-0'd. Then played against... Basically,
in that matchup specifically, I think you would have to triple ruin mode proc. I think it's your only way.
It is, but I have to have like multiple memory boosts set up in order to even have enough memory to do that because of how expensive evoing into it is. But that is the only way to actually clear it once it is the field is to triple ruin mode proc them.
But then he gets the partition, right?
I mean, technically yes.
Technically yes.
He's welcome to do it. He can also armor purge.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I got to then played Gallantmon X. That would actually be a lot more manageable if they don't see Wargrowl X, but because Wargrowl X exists, they can keep me from bouncing it with the Ancient Garu for a turn, and it's basically always going to be too big for the Ancient Grey to pop. And so if they go into it, they chunk my security, I'm basically just waiting to die on the next turn because I can't really defend myself. It's functionally the same thing. So I lost that one 2-0 as well, or 0-2, whatever. And then round 3 played against Huh?
Who was that against?
AJ.
AJ? Okay.
Yeah. Round 3 played against Mastamon. They don't have protection. It's very easy to play around their aces because all of my ancients have removal effects. They can clear level 5s very easily. So that was pretty free. Ruin mode also was really good against them. So I won that 2-0 pretty easily. Went 1-2 over the course of 3 rounds at our little baby locals on Tuesday.
Can't wait to go this week.
So I got first place playing Magna DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Round 1 I played Sean. He already talked about it. Once I established Magnamon, there's not much you can do. Round 2 I played against Beelzemon. I won that game, 2-1. He got a game off of me. He got game 2 off of me. I got a little greedy and was like, you know what? I'm not going to hit any kill spells out of his option or out of his security. I hit a Rival's Barrage with my Pyldramon. It partitioned out. And then I cycled through like the 15 cards I had in my hand because you just draw a dummy amount of cards with that deck. I did not have another level 5. And I wasn't seeing another one for multiple turns. So I ended up just losing that game. Game 3, I end up just establishing Magna X, and I have everything I need. Just win that one real quick. Both games he just almost decks out. It's kind of funny. Round 3, despite how hard I was trying to throw to Ben, I defeated Ben 2-0. He was playing bunnies.
The deck carry for real.
Yeah, it really was just like, hey, Magna X is such a good card. It literally carried me to win that match.
Yeah.
I played very clean all night, and then I started playing that game, and I was just mistake after mistake after mistake. Yeah, like I forgot I didn't even think that he would play Mega Gargomon in the deck. I don't know why I wouldn't think that.
Been.
I know most bunny lists don't play that card. So like there was one turn where I was like, oh, I can just kill him here. I had like a partitioned out XVmon and Stingmon, a Magna X, and like 2 level 3s. And I go to swing with the Magna. He blast evos into the Mega Gargo and prevents 2 of my Digimon from digivolving, and they're the exact suit because Ben's a very smart player. He's a very good player. It's the 2 targets that I need, one of the level 4s and then one of the level 3s, so there's no way I can DNA now into a Pyeldramon to finish him. It was just like just a bunch of just mistakes after mistakes after mistakes. Anyways, I end up pushing through it, beating Ben 2-0, mostly carried by my deck. So I went undefeated that night, and then Friday night I'll go first. I got 4th place. Yeah, I got 4th place playing Magna. Same deck. I went X1. I played crazy. I played Beelzemon round 1.
Mm-hmm.
2-0'd him. Again, established Magna, and there wasn't much he could do about it. Round 2, that was against Tyler. Round 2, I played against Ben, who was playing Beelzemon. He ended up getting it 2-0. Game 1, I was looking to kill him, and I made a misplay. I played out a Vmon off my Davison Kin instead of a Wormmon because I had HPD in my hand. Because I digivolved the Wormmon in my raising area, and then I went to HPD, and Ben reminded me it's only a green Digimon, and I was like, oh crap! I literally had the play in my head, but I swapped the 2 cards thinking it wouldn't matter. Yeah. So I wasn't able to DNA into Pyeldramon. I also, against him, didn't see a single Pyeldramon the entire match, either games. Well, I saw it, I never had the opportunity to go into it.
Mm-hmm.
The Magna X I did get to go into had Dino B under him, which it's still a good card. It's just not as good as Pyeldramon.
Yeah.
But Ben made like he told me after game 1, he's like, if I'd have just DNA'd into Pyeldramon or Digivolved into it, I would have suspended his whole board and been okay. Yeah. Anyways,
you could have done it to pass turn and it just would have kept him from killing you.
Yeah, but I was so focused, I was so tunnel visioned on just trying to kill him that turn that I didn't even think about that. Like, I completely skipped over that. And then game 2, he literally both games as well, the entire match, his mills were on point. I'm talking like Robbie was sitting right next to me, and he looked over at Ben. It had been like 2 turns. He's like, dang, Ben, your deck's not in your trash yet. And then Robbie looked back, and like 1 turn pass, he looked over, and like he had like 25 cards in his trash. Like, Ben was hitting those mills last night against me. It was crazy. Like, 1 turn he went from like 0 memory to like 6. There was 1 turn he milled 3 rivals barrages. Like, he was just like everything he needed he was hitting. Ben even said, he's like, I haven't milled this well in a very long time with this deck. And so like when Beelzemon starts doing that, it's like, hey, you know, like, it's probably Jover from here.
Sex wounds.
Yeah. Game 1, I also medievaled him to clear most of his board and gave him way too much memory. He was just able to kill me on the following turn. I had the opportunity to do it again in game 2. Sean was watching this. And the fear from what happened in game 1 was like, I really don't want to give him 6 to 7 memory again. So instead I did something else, hoping to pass turn that he wouldn't be able to kill me. He was able to kill me either way. So it didn't really matter. Game 3, or round 3, I played against Angels. That's a matchup that like can be pretty scary if they establish their board fast enough. She literally established Dominimon by like turn 2. Like, that's just how Angels are sometimes. But I got extremely lucky. She didn't see the Angelmon until after I was like controlling the board, and pretty much the game was like the game was over. Game 2, she never saw level 3, which again can be extremely hard for that deck. She did at one point like hard play a Magna Angemon and hit a Dominimon out of security, but again, there was no Angemon Ace, so she just had really she just had really poor luck last night. I was able to roll her. Round 4, played against what did I play against round 4?
I don't know.
I need to look it up. What did I play against? I don't remember every game but that one.
That's why I write.
Green Ranger. I did. It's in my notes. Green Ranger. I got Lucas. It was Lucas. That's right. I played.
I physically write it down. It's sitting in front of me.
I played his girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure. And Lucas back to back.
Yeah.
Lucas was playing that Green Ranger Leopardmon X deck with like the bunny. No, he was playing the Plant Engine last night.
He was playing the Palmon base.
Yeah.
The Green Ranger.
That deck.
I want that.
That deck doesn't really.
I've got it packed up right now just because I don't have a spot to put it yet.
I was gonna ask you, like, why is it still in the box? It's like it's
I normally have it on display, but it's just out.
So, anyways, that deck doesn't really have any protection. He can spit out all the bodies he wants, but I can go Pyldramon, suspend his whole board, and just like swing at him for free, and he can't unsuspend his stuff. So, I don't want to say it was like free, but it really felt free. Like I also just saw so many good pieces. Like game 2, I think I saw like HPD, the Tamer, Vmon, Magnamon, and a Pyldramon. So I'm like missing a couple pieces, but I'm like, yo, if I just get like 1 or 2 good hits here, I'm like,
oh sure,
it's good.
We're good.
So like, yeah. So I ended up beating him 2-0 as well. And then because my tiebreakers were so bad, I got 4th.
Speaking of bad tiebreakers, I will go next. I got so my night started off pretty well. I got paired up against Caleb, who Chris bullied into not playing his blue deck.
That's not true.
I heard it. John, you were there. He said, "You better not play that blue deck, you pleb."
Nope.
I don't think Caleb would have let that actually affect his choices.
This is what the room was looking like.
Sea of blue.
2 Magna X DNAs, 2 Deep Savers, 2 Beelzemons,
Skibbity Toilet,
Skibbity Toilet,
Ancient Omni,
Ancient Omni, which is also
Ancient
blue.
Omni. Yeah, so like the whole room, and there was like a couple of angels
everywhere.
Angels, and then the green deck.
Yeah, and bunnies. Yeah, like it was ridiculous, and I jokingly, because I saw Caleb and Robbie playing, and then
a blue source strip mirror match type.
Yeah, it was Skibbity Toilet versus Deep Savers. I was like, oh okay. Then I walk over, and what do I see? Dante literally sleeving.
Deep Savers.
I said, no, we can't do this. We're not doing this right now. We're not gonna have 2 Deep Savers in the room tonight. And then I see Ben playing Beelzemon, and I see Tyler, and of course that's all Tyler's gonna play. And I said, we can't do this because I already know me and Sean are also playing the same deck. We can't have all these same decks. This is ridiculous.
Mirage as well. Will's playing Mirage.
And a Mirage, yeah. So Caleb was like. Caleb goes, I'll play Zephygamon.
Yeah, Caleb read the room and was like, yeah, I really don't want to play that mirror match. Because it's so stupid.
He didn't seem to be having a good time playing against Robbie.
No. So he switched over to his Vortex deck. I'm going to call it Vortex, not Zephyga, because the best card in that deck is Medieval Gallant. Spoiler alert.
No, it is, yeah.
Basically... He couldn't do anything against my boards because I never have a board. The one time I did have a board, he was able to Medieval Gallant me, and I was like, okay, cool, never walking into that again.
Yeah. The deck requires you to have board presence to do anything of value. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So, he can't do anything against bounce either. Like, if he doesn't have his protection set up, like, alright, bye.
Yeah.
Goodbye to your only stack, I guess.
It's not repeatable either, which is trash.
So bad, dude. If they would have just made it an on-play when digivolving, I think it would have been a little better, because then you could have like rapid monned it, like you know how they hard play the rapid mon de-evo and give its protection.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a little better. But
they should have made it to where it was repeatable.
Yeah, maybe it's like an inheritable.
No, I think it should have stayed as level 5 just to balance it, but they should have made it to where like once per turn, if one of your Digimon's suspended by an effect.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Blah blah blah.
Okay, yeah, that would make a lot more sense too.
Yeah, because you can just sit there and wait because they're not going to kill you.
Yeah, so I got that 2-0. And then my next round I played against Angels. Game 1 I aggroed real fast.
Longest match.
Hour and a half match.
of the entire time, my entire time playing Digimon, I think.
Yeah.
But I am literally saying Grayson finished his match because you called turns. He lost in turns. Grayson did. He literally had enough time to walk to a store, a different store,
get a bag of cheese.
like 8 minutes away, get food, and make it back, and eat that food.
Yeah, he sat down
and drink it.
Anyway,
before they were even close to finished.
So anyway, game 1 I ended it in about 5 minutes. Dom and Angelomon never even hit the board. I opened up just super fast and was able to just maintain and just keep everything off. Game 2 I got Omega high rolled because she was able to see all 4 copies of Gatomon and was able to play basically all 4 copies of Gatomon. It was crazy. So I was like, all right, whatever. This is a wash. I scooped because I knew like, oh, this is gonna go long. So I scooped. We're just keep going. Game 3 was an absolute grind. Game 3 was probably the majority of that time. I had basically, she had set up 2 Doms, but only had 1 Angelomon, and she misplayed, in my opinion. Sean, you'll probably agree. She swung with one of the Doms.
As soon as she did that, I walked over to Ben. Or no, I think I told Chris. But I told somebody, I was like, she literally lost because she did that. But in her defense, I don't think she knew you were playing Alter B unless you did it in one of the previous games or she saw it. Because that's the only reason that's bad is because Alter B now outs her board. But if she doesn't know it's a card, then...
Because I looked over to you, like, covered my mouth, and I just mouthed Alter B. Like, it was just over. Like, she swung with the Dom. It was 13k effective or 14k, or no, 13, right? Because
14
of the
effective.
Patty.
14 effective.
Yeah. And she hit the Omni.
Yeah.
Which, that's just bad luck to begin with. But that basically meant, okay, cool, now I can actually play for the win, and I'm not playing for the tie. The way the board was set up, I did misplay. Sean pointed it out. Sean and Ben both pointed out later.
Me and Ben, both Angel players, immediately when you did it, were like, oops.
Oops. Yeah. I still end up winning, but it should have been a much cleaner win than what it was. Basically, I was going into 2 Omni stacks. One of them was becoming Alter B immediately to de-evo the Dom and start wiping the board. And then I went into an Ancient, end of turn, tried to kill it, DNA'd into Omni, and then did my whole swings and stuff. But basically, like, the way I did my second Omni made it to where she would be able to recover one, and of course the one she recovers is a Gatomon. It gets trashed, plays it out, she has blast timing to go into Angelomon. It was like a whole thing, and if she had another level 6 ace in her hand, I probably lose.
If she has Shadow Seraphi exactly, you don't kill her, and I think you guys draw, unless she had another turn, but I don't think she could have killed you.
1 turn left. Yeah.
I don't think she could have killed you anyway because she didn't have anything else besides that body on the board, and you still had at least 1 security.
Yeah. But thankfully, no more level 6 aces in hand, and I was able to finish the game after an extraneously long amount of time.
Yeah.
Speaking of an extraneously long amount of time, let's go to the exact opposite. My 3rd round against Sean. Game 1, he literally womboed me into my bejesus the moment I dared turn my card sideways and hit a dual tamer out of security. F me, I guess.
That was the second one.
Yeah,
I think. Didn't I play one and then you hit a second one? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, when you give them the free tamer like that, it's just like... I just
So
so erect right off the rip.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
So then,
Thank
Sean,
you. Hey, thank you.
Sean, yeah, right. Sean then BMs me. He'll say it's
No.
not a BM.
No.
He goes, "Oh, I don't have the pieces to do it." Anyway, turn my card sideways, draw 2.
I said-
turn my card sideways, draw 2.
You were like-
turn my card sideways, draw
You're like
2.
pissing and moaning, and I was like, the game.
now.
I was like, the game's not over yet because I didn't have Magna. I didn't have a blue scramble in my hand, but I did DNA with 2 promo Vmons in my stack into a Pyojimon.
Crazy.
So I drew 4 cards off that swing. I drew into a scramble and a Magna, even into a Magna without passing turn, and then drew 4 more cards off 2 more swings. So I was like, okay, the game's over now.
Yeah. Just BMing me. Game 2, he literally saw a singular level 3, so I was just able to kill him. Thank God.
It was out of security
he
too.
says-
It wasn't even in my hand.
Yeah. Because you hit it. Didn't I hit a scramble or something?
Yeah, you checked it. It was like one of the first checks in security, and then you checked a scramble and it played it back.
Yeah. Game 3, from his point of view, looked close, but from my point of view, I knew it wasn't actually close. Because of how his board was set up, and because Ancient... Get out of here. What are you doing? And because Ancient immediately procs his Magna, if I go into it, I have to out the Magna first. And because I have to out the Magna first, it completely ruined my line of play. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to force the partition on both of them, and then Omni and bot deck all the level 4s. That would have been absolute max value. Because I had enough sources to double Ancient Garou.
I had a Pyojimon and a
been...
Magna X on the field that wasn't immune, just for people watching.
Yeah. That's the only playline I could have gone to that would have done that, but I couldn't. I just didn't have the resources. So Sean was probably looking at his board thinking, this could be a close game, but me seeing what was in my hand and what I had access to, I knew it was like, I'm not getting this game. So I do end up losing that game as well. It wasn't a total wash like game 1, but it was definitely a really fun feeling watching Sean have 3 of his dual tamers on the board, game 2, and then never being able to use a single one of them.
I had a memory setting Davis and 3 dual tamers that I never got to use.
Never. It was awesome.
I saw over half my deck, the only rookie was checked out of security, and even though it searched 3 cards, I still never saw another rookie.
Still never saw it. Yeah, that was crazy.
And you Omnimon that rookie.
Yeah,
you're like, am I really gonna Omnimon this just to get this rookie off the field? And you're like, yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Bot deck it.
That was funny. I don't think I would have done that in like a tournament setting, but just for the memes of locals, yeah.
If you hadn't, it was beneficial for you to do that, because if you hadn't have done that and didn't kill me like the following turn, I could have just swung it in security and then just played the scramble that you checked out of my security to pass turn, and I would have got to play it again the next turn.
Yeah, so it was fun. My final round was against Will playing Mirage. Now, Will technically probably should have 2-0'd me. Game 1, he massively misplayed. He had a Hexblow with the Inherit to unsuspend. So he swings with the Hexblow, plays the dude out, unsuspends, gets 2 checks, and then goes into the burst mode, and then gets to swing 3 times with the burst mode because burst mode's unsuspend, and he had Thomas on the board that lets you unsuspend. So what he should have done is he should have swung with Hexblow twice for 4 checks, evoed into the burst, tapped the Thomas to unsuspend, swing last security, unsuspend, swing.
Okay.
He saw that after it was already too late, and he had that moment of clarity, I threw. Now, to be fair, if I would have known that was he was capable of doing that, I would have set up a stun with a potential Omni for that turn, but instead I set up a rookie and was just like, whatever, you're not going to be able to kill me. Famous last words.
Hexablow's
he should have killed me, though. But thankfully, he doesn't see it. I get to kill him the next turn or something like that. It was 1 or 2 turns later I kill him. But yeah, he should have technically won that one. Game 2, I misplayed, I went into a turn, for some reason, assuming I had my dual tamer on the board, my end of turn DNA swing, but I didn't. So I played my turn with that in the head, like, oh, I can just end of turn DNA swing. And when I finally finished my entire play, he's at 1 security, and I'm about to go into the Omni, and I look down and I don't see the tamer, and I'm like,
oops.
Oh, I messed up. And so that's on me. He ends up killing me that game because I, for some reason, didn't play my tamer out. If I would have just realized it from the beginning, I would have played my turn entirely different, and I would have set something up a little better, but blinders, I guess. Game 3, I put him in a no-win situation. I basically choked him to 1 memory, and there was no way he was going to be able to completely clear out all of my security and kill me. But I had ensured that I was guaranteed 3 memory because of my Matt Sora dual tamer. I had the end of turn DNA swing, and it's over. He has 1 security, the game's over. I just need him to just finish his turn. He then proceeded to sit there and think about this turn for what, 5-6 minutes?
It was probably pushing 10 minutes.
Sean started his game 3, and they were deep into game 3. Like, we were going into turns, and they were like getting close to finishing their game 3. And I'm seriously just sitting here like, play your card.
I have game.
Play your last pathetic card. I don't want to lose. I get that, but
sometimes you just gotta take it.
It's Jover.
Yeah.
I did BM him a little bit because after he finally passed turn,
I feel like he deserves it after sitting there for like 7+ minutes in the tank on 1 turn.
Because I think he was hoping that I would just promote the Gabumon, proccing his Mirage. It wouldn't have passed turn, but I would have lost all my memory. Especially since that Gabumon that was in the raising area was not the end of turn DNA Gabu.
Oh, yeah.
But I had one in hand. So I knew, okay, pass straight into start of main, gain my memory from the Tamer, hard play Gabumon, hard play Wargreymon, Metalgaru, Omni, game. You know how it goes. So I think he was banking on me misplaying, but that's the only way he walks out of that game with, like, any chance. So I was just ready to kill him. So anyway, I BM'd him because after I put the Omni down, I reached across the table, grabbed his Mirage, picked up his deck, put it on the bottom, set it down, scooped up all his cards, threw them in the trash, and then turned my Omni sideways.
Game.
And we were just sitting there laughing about it. But that dude, having to sit there for like that long, just like, bro, just let me kill you. Alright, Sean, tell us about your night.
Alright, so I played Magnex DNA. It won this week's members only poll for what I played at locals.
Thank God, now we can never do it again.
I mean, you know, maybe it'll come back. I'm happy I finally got to play it. Round
it is
1.
A very fun, powerful deck. Like, you feel strong playing that deck. You're just like, my Ultramon comes down and you're like, now everyone kneel.
Yeah, suspend all your
Kneel.
stuff. I'm just going to start swinging at you. Round 1, I played against Robbie playing Skibbity Toiletmon. I think he was under the impression I was playing like the regular armor version. Because he was like, oh, my guys have Ice Clad and stuff. And I was like, I don't think that's going to help you versus me. Because, like, I'm DNAing. Like, I'm going to have way more sources than you.
Yeah, because he can't strip your your armor sources from Magna once you're unaffected.
And once I'm immune, he can't strip those sources. Game 1 was over pretty quickly. There's actually a point where I played into his ace with a Pyodramon. I know he's playing Vikemon and Zudo in some number in that deck. And I forgot game 1 and just mindlessly turned my Pyodramon sideways to start getting into security when he had a level 5 on the field. Thankfully, he didn't have it in his hand, and I wasn't punished. Then I went into a Magna X, and then the game was over at that point. Game 2 was actually pretty close because it took me a few turns to get my stuff to where I could actually DNA and pop off on him. And in that time, he was able to go and do a Hexablow, which bot decked the Dual Tamer that I had put on the field the previous turn. And it had 3 checks with jamming, and he had another guy next to it, and he'd already poked me once, so he cleared my security that turn. But fortunately, I was able to DNA into a Pyodramon on my turn. Both of his guys had Iceclad. It was a level 5 with Iceclad and a Hexablow with Iceclad.
I can't believe this is how this goes.
After DNAing into a Pyodramon with no Dual Tamer, so I couldn't strip his sources, but I looked at his sources, and then I picked up his Hexablow and just read Iceclad just to make sure. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much DP it is. It always just checks sources. So I swung over his Hexablow and his level 5 with my Pyodramon because Iceclad.
You know, reversed.
Because you had more sources.
I had more sources. It was very funny doing that. The only thing was I was forced to do it regardless, but I was also playing into Vikemon again. If he had it, I just would have gone to game 3, but he didn't have it again. But I had to do that regardless of what happened. I just had to hope he didn't have it. He didn't have it. The game was over from there. He potentially was going to set up maybe like a hybrid for game at one point because he had me at 0 security at that point, and it was going to take me a couple more turns to kill him. But I was able to protect myself with my Magna X and a Togemogumon and stuff. So I ended up winning that 2-0. Round 2 played against Deep Savers. Game 1, he never saw his Plesiomon, which is like the combo part of that deck.
So he was kind of just screwed.
Yeah, that's like the key. That's like one of the key cards in that deck.
Game 2 was a little closer, but not really. I was able to establish a Magna X, and he actually, I got him to 0 security, or got him to 1 security, and he had like 4 guys on the field or something, just from like his turn, just doing things.
Just doing stuff.
Yeah, I DNA'd into a Pyodramon with a Magna X that wasn't immune yet, and then swung into security, and he Metal Siegramon aced me, but he was forced to target the Pyodramon, otherwise I'd just kill him. Also, the Magna X couldn't swing, he like stunned it. He was forced to target the Pyodramon, because if he didn't, it would have swung for game, because I just would have swung again for the additional damage. But the Magna X was still stunned, unfortunately, but thankfully, I had an HJ in my hand, so I just hand gibbered his board and set him to 3 and cleared everything with the Ace Overflow, bringing it back to 3. And then
Dante, he couldn't figure out what Sean meant when he kept saying HJ.
I was like just a hand gibber, dude. You know what an HJ is.
At one point, Dante goes, "I don't feel comfortable talking about this."
And at that point, he didn't have anything coming out of raising. He had 1 security left out of Magna X on the field, and he had 3 memory. He couldn't do anything, and he scooped.
Damn, once you gave Dante that HJ, it was just kind of over.
It was, dude.
It was.
I just laid it out there. Round 3 played against Ancient Omni.
Handshake, whole new meaning.
Yes. Played against Ancient Omni round 3. I did super high roll Brandon, although I didn't know I was going to high roll him until I drew 8 cards from my deck.
Crazy.
One turn, not counting the Evos. If you count the Evos, I think it's 1, 2,
even more.
3, 4. It's 12 cards, not counting any searches that I may have done.
Off the rookies played, yeah.
Yeah. And just got him down to 1 security super quick. He couldn't really do anything about it. Game 2 we talked about. I literally never saw a rookie besides the one that was checked out of security and played back from him checking a scramble. And then once it was played back from the scramble, he immediately Omnimon it to get off the field. And then that was the only rookie I saw the entirety of the game, despite having 3 Dual Tamers on the field. I was very sad about that.
I was enjoying it.
Game 3 was close from my perspective, but I never know what's in his hand. So his hand was probably a little more awkward than it could have been.
What it appeared.
Yeah.
Brandon also can draw like a buttload of cards too once he establishes
He
stuff.
can, but if I open up okay, like he's on a clock just as much as I am.
Yeah.
Right.
Ended up winning
Like
that.
even the game you were bricked, I wasn't killing you like super fast.
I had a long time to sit there and just not play the game. That was real fun. And ended up winning game 3. He was forced to Omni me, and he didn't have another level 6 on the field, and I still had a body on the board, and I had like 2 or 3 of my dual tamers set up, so like I just wombo comboed. Round 4 played against Ben, playing Beals. We were both the undefeateds left. I told Chris it was a free matchup when he lost 2-0 because it's a purple deck, dude. It's a purple deck. It's over.
Yeah, I mean,
purple deck, no aces. GG's.
Yeah, it was definitely the pilot. It actually, like, I now game 2, I don't know if I could have done anything, but game 1, I should have won game 1 for sure. I just go into that Pyeldramon, I stun his board, and I kill him the following turn. Game 2, I just opened up pretty slow, and it was even so bad that it got to the point where like I digivolved into a Magna and didn't have an armor form underneath it. So
oh yeah, I remember Ben saying that. It's like you don't have an armor.
Yeah,
you still unsuspend. You just don't get anything else.
No, I had the
under it.
yeah, because I just wasn't seeing my pieces, and I needed to establish it. It wouldn't get bigger, but like at least I would still unsuspend and do stuff. But his mills were on point.
Mm-hmm. So game 1 is a little vague, but I believe I high rolled him. Oh no, I just high rolled him. I'm thinking of a different game. Game 2, I opened up slower. He had time to set up and start getting his stuff going. I was able to establish a Magna X, but I wasn't able to deal with his entire board. I just didn't have the cards in hand to do it. I didn't have a Hand Jibber or a Medieval Gallant that would have done anything meaningful. And he was able to kill me through the Magna X, which isn't too difficult once you have too many bodies and he trashes all my security in one effect.
Yeah, he had 1 mil against me where he hit the Beelzemon. I think it's the Beelzemon, the one that plays out Impmons.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 2 of those, and he had like 4 bodies off 1 mil. It was crazy.
Yeah. Game 2 was so long, though, that I considered scooping earlier, but it got to a point where I was like, oh, maybe I can pull this out. But game 2 was so long that we had like less than 5 minutes for game 3. And Ben asked me how much time we had left, and I told him. And then he proceeded to pile shuffle his deck, and I was like, "Oh, okay, we definitely have time for that." And he was like, "All my tamers are together," and I'm like, "Just shuffle your deck, man."
Benjamin.
This is at this point. Brandon is playing Will next to me. Will is like starting his turn, like in the middle of that turn that he was thinking. Me and Ben then start playing our game 3. I open up pretty well, establish a Magna X, and it looks like I'm just going to roll away with the game. And then in turns, Ben had first turn in time. He promotes a level 5 with, I think, 1 Iron Mako on the field. He ends the turn with a 5, a Beals X, and a level 4, I believe. No, an Imp X on the field. After swinging like a couple of times. I still
that deck can still be super scary.
Yeah. He like milled almost his entire deck. In fact, actually he did mill himself out that turn. He bot decked double what's it called to keep himself from decking the 7th full cluster when he evened into the Beals X. He cleared my security, but he didn't kill me. Actually, no, I don't think he cleared my security. I can't remember. It's irrelevant. Anyway, on my turn, he has 3 security left. I have a Magna X, and then I have the ability to DNA. I don't have a Pyeldramon in my hand yet, though. And the inheritable on the Magna X is a Dino Bee. So I'm like, I was like, I don't think I can kill him here unless I see a Pyeldramon off of my searches or draws. it never got to that point. Unfortunately, I never found the Pyodramon. So I swung over his Imp X, and then my original concern was him playing back, because he had the level 5 was going to float into a Beals, and the Beals X was going to float into an Imp, just from its own effect. My original concern was when I swing over to level 5, he's going to play back the EX6 Beals, but then I was like, oh, he can't do that because he'll just mill himself out and I'll just be like, pass, and you just lose. So once I realized that, I was like, oh, this is not that big of a deal. So I swung over his Imp X and then swung over his level 5. He played back the EX2 Beals because he had to. It was the only option. Trashed one of his security, unsuspended my Magna X, and then was it 2 memory? It was either 1 or 2 memory. I evoed my Dino B into Medieval Gallantmon. I suspended his unsuspended Beals. I blew up his Beals X. His Beals X played the Impmon. I triggered the Medieval Gallantmon's all turns effect, suspended the Impmon, blew up the Beals, and then Vortex over his Impmon and cleared his board. And he's top decking a 7th full cluster with 2 memory and nothing on the field, nothing coming in or raising. And I still had another turn, and he had 2 security left at that point. And I had a Wormmon on the field, so his 7th full cluster wouldn't have even cleared anything. Besides the Wormmon, obviously. So he ended up scooping. But it was a very close game 3. I was surprised we actually got to finish it with 5 minutes left and been pile shuffling before the game started. I think we finished our game, and I think Brandon and Will's turn, like that turn was still going on.
Yep.
But yeah, it ended up going undefeated and came in first place.
I will say, you mentioned Medieval Gallant, and it gave me a PTSD flashback. The reason in the Angels matchup I was in a no-win situation is because I made a wide board, and then she just hard slammed Medieval Gallant, and I went, oh.
She was playing Medieval and Angels?
Yep.
She was.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good card.
And you know what?
It's a pretty good card.
And you know what? It literally cost me game 2. Because, like, I was in a pretty okay spot. I went wide, and she was just like, hard play this? And I was like...
It's just another walking option card. Boss monsters that are like that are great.
It's disgusting. If you're able to Evo into it, it's even better. Because, like, Ben had 2 floats on his field, but it didn't matter because I Evo'd into it and just cleared his board anyway. Because I was trying to figure out at the beginning of the turn, I was like, how do I keep him from killing me on his turn? And then I drew into the Medieval Gallant when I was like comboing, and I was like, oh, I think I...
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. There's the answer.
There's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened.
It do be happening. Alright, so we have 4 tournaments to go over. The first one is the Eggman events, EX08 double winner box. I don't even know what this is.
That is a bird.
No, I mean, like, I don't remember this tournament. So it's 28 players, 5 rounds of Swiss, best of 3. I don't know what the hell Risu's Choice means, but we'll take a look at Oscar's Deep Savers deck. Oh man, I'm once again reminded why I hate this website. The lag.
Yeah.
Like favors.
I mean, yeah.
He doesn't play in the Tecton Marine Angemon, which I think this deck should just play one of, because if you do see it and you get the lock, it's just really good.
Yeah, it is pretty strong.
I mean, do you think it would categorize itself as win more in that case?
Potentially.
No, maybe. I mean, I don't know. It just makes it to where it's harder for your opponent to out your board.
It is, but I mean, once
play.
you establish this, a lot of decks are... It's
struggling.
It's awkward for them to remove it, even if they can.
Yeah.
That's why option removal is gonna come back. Digimon effects, you say? Be a shame if I activated an option card from my hand. Then we have... I can't pronounce this person's name. 8th place, Pulsemon. Let's see what we got going on.
Bobby?
Somebody send this list around.
Green Scramble.
Only one Tamagotchi.
Well, you can't do like the the Wombo combos.
Yeah, I was gonna
with
say
this
not
deck.
playing any of the Fenrilugas at all.
It is basically impossible to do that combo with this deck. I think maybe you can Evo the Finn on top of this Climbon, but like that's it.
Yeah, that's what Robbie would do.
Yeah. But congrats. They didn't think it was possible, and they still don't.
Hey, you know, people are gonna be like, "Hey, Pulsemon tier 1? Thoughts?"
Nope. Marcos with purple hybrid. Wit. I don't know. How I
Playing the
feel about-
Argomon Tech, playing the Gallant. Do you think the medieval Gallant should just hard replace that Gallant, or do you think that Gallant's still good in this deck just because of the trash?
I think the medieval Gallant's better if you're gonna play one. Just because of how broken it is. Because if
Yeah.
it doesn't get answered, it's basically a floodgate against certain decks.
Yep. Dude, it's so bad. I can't Miraculous Mega Knight while that thing's on the board.
It's pretty good.
I can't play my War Gray.
No, you can. You have turn player prio.
Yeah, but then he would warp the Melga,
Mhm.
my effects would end, and then they would go.
Oh yeah, true. You can't. I forgot.
I
It's
can't
not
end
like
up
Alter
turning
S.
it.
You can't like ping pong into your Omnimon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Now-
You actually do get blown out there.
Now, if I have a Miraculous Mega Knight set up, cool, kosher. Otherwise,
Yeah.
yikes, McGee.
Yeah. Congrats. Then we have Phoenix X
Bird.
Bird. Okay, he is playing the ancient combo.
Not just any bird.
He's not playing.
Not maxing out on Ancients, though.
Yeah, he's not
only playing
maxing
three.
out on Ancients, which is a surprise. Like, because you want to open that card. One Analog Youth, just for the flavor. It's an interesting choice. One Medieval Gallant. Why not? It's red.
Yeah, why not?
Definitely the new Death X is just going to be splashed in decks from now on, in decks that can support it. Or decks that can't. Who cares? Also, fun fact, this guy Evo's on top of Medieval Gallant for 4 memory, because it has Gallantmon in the name. Something to keep in mind.
Love that.
Congrats. Then we have Mirage with William. This is the Galaxy variety. Let's see how this has changed. 2 Gallant X's. Why the hell not, dude? It's blue. You're playing Toolbox. Who cares?
Yo.
Yeah, good blue. Good blue is good blue.
It is pretty solid. Only 3 Mirage.
Imagine using the Tamer to Evo into the Galaxy X for free. And your opponent's just like, bleh.
Yeah. You can Evo into everything.
Yeah,
in
let me
deck
just
for
tuck
free.
this dude. Yeah, let me just tuck this dude from my board onto him and just, free. Whatever.
Yeah, and he's also playing 2 of the X antibodies just to get the maximum value off this guy.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, just blue good stuff. That's all this deck is.
There's some red in there.
You know what I'm talking about, dude.
Yeah, but
Purple Hybrid Dark Master. So this is the Apoclymon variant that just has an alternate win condition of just seeing Apoclymon and killing you.
sounds about right.
While this deck does seem cool, I feel like this is probably clunkier than the normal variant.
Yeah, probably.
I can imagine just drawing a bunch of Dark Masters and like nothing else and just being like,
You got it. Let me just
I
hard play
these.
dudes.
Congrats. And we have Eddie with Fenry, which is the BT14 variant. It's interesting that this is still seeing play because this requires your opponent to have board presence in order to actually OTK them,
Yeah.
whereas the other one doesn't. Worked out for him. Yeah, he's playing the 2 Dino Bees with the Sethmon little combo.
I mean, yeah, Dino B's pretty good. Hard to replace the Chimera.
Yeah. Then we have Sergey with Fenry, which is the Tamagotchi variant. Let's see. so weird not
Sergey.
seeing people play the memory boost that let you search.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Because you can literally just chill in raising with this deck and just search for everything and then just promote. Yeah, it's weird I haven't seen somebody build it like that. But worked out for him. Congrats. Then we have Pedro 401 first place with Mirage. This is the blue variant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, blue good stuff with the Thomases.
That Doobie Mirage playing 3 Thomases.
Is it only 3? I can't tell how many of the...
Yeah, it's 1 and 2.
Okay.
Playing 2 Full Moon Meteor Impact. I wonder if that's because of the decks that are now... Yeah, there's Aegis.
Dino.
Dino. There's also Gallantmon.
Gallant, yeah.
Where I guess if they see the War Growl, this doesn't do anything, but... Or the War Growl X, I should say. But at least it forces them to have it. But
yeah.
Congrats. Then we have the Latin American 2024 finals. God, the ads on this website are so AIDS. So let's see how many people were in this after I clear out all these ads. Jesus.
How many players was this one?
214, 8 rounds of Swiss.
241.
You know what? That is how that number works. You're right.
Your dyslexia strikes again.
Yeah. Gonzalo. Phoenixmon X. I think this is the same name I saw in the Winnabox. This is going to be the same deck.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. Okay. Congrats. Then we have Luis Magna X. Let's see what variant this is. Not the Pyodramon variant.
I mean,
bad.
It's kind of funny how we meme. Yeah, we meme about seeing the same deck over and over again. It's like, that was the same deck.
Yeah, that was the same dude. Yeah. Magna X. Deck list for this variant just looks so weird to me. There's just so much happening.
Yeah. I feel like Bond is a pretty good call in this deck as well, because your stack won't be huge, but at the same time, like... Yeah, I think it's definitely better in the DNA variant.
It is. It's the one card I wish I could have made room for in my builds. But it's really only necessary for a couple of matchups. Like, Tamagotchi mode is like the only one I can actually think of that you'd want it for.
Yeah.
Anything else, if you need an ace, you probably already lost that game. Then we have another Magna X. I can't say this person's name, so I'm not going to try. Oh, this person's playing the Ancient combo.
Oh, he's playing Ancient.
This guy's all kinds of stuff happening here.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of cool because you can Ken and Davis out the rookie and then Ancient Lobo it just to rip a security for like 3 memory.
This guy's playing 3 of the promo Davis and 2 of the dual tamers. I hate it.
Oh, never mind. Get out of here.
He's playing 2 hand jibbers though. That's a good call. That really helps the
nice
Angel matchup. Yeah. It's so weird just to be doing a 2-2 on this. He's playing 3 Chimeramons.
Crazy.
Just max the dual tamer out, man. What are you doing? Come on.
Come on, man.
For real, dude. We have a Mirage. Let's see what's going on here. That's Mirage.
Looks exactly the same.
Yeah, that is a Mirage deck. Then we have 3 Great Angels, Carlos. Let's take a Gandhi. Damn, dog. He's playing 4 Pillowmons. It's like, you ain't playing anything.
Bro said you were never partitioning on my lot.
Yeah.
Fortitude? Yeah, you mean put it in the trash.
Sean might be liking this list.
It does look
none of that wacky stuff that people be putting in.
Yeah, it looks similar to mine. This guy obviously made some creative choices. He's only playing 3 big bunnies.
A lot of Serapis.
Yeah, I mean, he's only playing 1 more than I have in my list.
Yeah, but look at it. It's not even the ace.
It's not. Only 3 big bunnies I disagree with. I feel like if you're playing the BT14 Seraphimon, playing a Ruin mode is more reasonable. But, like, what are you Ruin moding on top of that you feel good about when it kills itself in Angels? That's the only thing I don't like about this card. Is, like, even on top of Dom? Why?
Yikes.
Why would you ever do that? And then if you even on top of anybody else, you're just giving your opponent 4 extra memory.
It's one of those situations where I can only see them wanting to do it if they have 2 DOMs set up. But, like,
at that point,
what situation are you in to where 2 DOMs isn't game?
Yeah, exactly. But congrats. Worked out for him. Then we have Raul with Leviah X. Playing the Tech Lord Nightmon X.
And the one of Anubis, because, I mean,
Yeah,
real good.
It's unfortunately still at 1. Playing 4 Protos. Agreed. You really want to see the full effect of the Cerberus X.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Then we have Tyrant.
Oh, good a bit of different decks here.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Yeah, I think people are getting real sick and tired of the meta decks and are just like, play what you want.
This is interesting. He's playing 2 memory blocking terriers and 1 of the Alliance Lopmons, just randomly.
I mean,
Well,
hey, pretty good.
I mean, you do big damage with Tyrant if you get that Lopmon out.
Doesn't
I'm
Medieval
more.
have Alliance?
I'm more. Doesn't what?
Medieval Gallant has Alliance,
Yeah,
right?
he just has Alliance written on him, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine double Alliancing on that, bro.
I mean, they're both one
I'm more talking about that Metal Seedramon there.
Yeah, I noticed that he's playing 3 Jade Memory Boost instead of regular green, just so we can search this Metal Seedramon ace.
Why not, bro? Why not?
Why not, dude? Why not just search the top 3 cards instead of the top 4 because you're playing a 1 of? I'm curious what I mean, is this for the Angel matchup? I guess it is, because it's like you're only out to it.
De-Evo that, bro.
Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting choice. I'm assuming it's for Angels. I'm curious what his reasoning was for... Because, I mean, he clearly made the Jade Memory Boost decision because of this 1 of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But worked out for him. Then we have 7 Great Demon Lords. Dario. So what we got here.
Yep. Well, it looks like 7 Great Demon Lords.
Yeah, that'd be 7 Great Deem. Yep, I don't see anything out of the ordinary. Only 2 Agudas. I think that's actually standard. Although I would probably run 3 just like Ben does, just because like if you don't see it, you don't win. But
Fair.
worked out for him. We have Finn, Tamagotchi version. Also not playing the memory boost that let you search the entire deck.
I mean, maxed out on analog use, so I guess he don't care.
I think you're supposed to.
I mean, yeah, I would.
Yeah, it's just so interesting. Like, you literally have no way to search this Kazuchi in this deck. Besides the analog, that's it.
Yeah, just trash it off the analog.
I guess the Ukamon's technically, but like, you know. Congrats. Then we have Lord Nightmon X. Yo, what? It'd be funny if it was a black base. So this is
all the proto form.
Yeah, this is kind of a combo because he's also playing Levi and Levi X in it.
Yeah.
No biting crushes though.
I mean, he's got the lightning, but
Yeah, but that doesn't.
yeah, no biting was weird.
I figured if you're doing that, like maybe at least 1 biting crush, but I mean, deck space is tight. This is interesting. Congrats. Then we have Mirage Galaxy.
Whoa, no way.
This looks very similar to what we already saw.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
It looks almost.
same
It might be the same list.
This
Or at
guy's
least
playing
very similar to it.
2 Medieval Gallants. I don't remember Medieval Gallant being in the other one. Do you guys?
I mean,
Yeah, you're right. No, I
yeah.
said Gallant X. I don't remember Medieval.
Yeah, he's playing
I don't
Gallant
know.
X and Medieval. Wisteria does search Medieval Gallantmon because he is red.
Correct.
Fun fact.
And you can Evo on top of it with the
yeah, you can
level
even on
5.
top of this guy. That's pretty good.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yes. Then we have Gallant X. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah. I'm not super familiar on what the ratios for the level 6s would be, but I feel like I'd want to put at least one copy of Medieval in there.
Most lists don't play it, although I found myself like playing like 2 or 3 whenever I was building my version. It kind of just depends on what direction you want to go in. Like, the strength of this variant is just chunking your opponent's security, forcing them to answer a borderline unanswerable boss monster for a turn. If they don't, you just kill them on the next turn.
Fair.
Congrats. Then where were we? Okay, we have another Gallant X, 4th place, Juan. So we got here. Hey, 1 Medieval Gallantmon. Let's go.
there he is.
That's why he plays higher.
Bro's playing 4 Gallant X's. 3 X antibodies. This guy's like, hey, I'm doing it.
I mean, this, I think, is probably one of the only decks where I would actually play the normal X-Anti instead of Protoform, right? Because you want to actively have the turn passing over as you're swinging?
Yes, and also because your Tocado has Blitz, if you just Evo into the regular level 5 or level 6, you swing and then with Blitz, and then you can still trigger the X antibody.
We're not going to talk about how he's only playing that Tocado. He's like, this is the only one I care about.
I think it's the only one you should care about. I would still play 4
Yeah.
just to see it consistently. But I guess with 3 X antibodies, he doesn't actually need Blitz.
Right.
But yeah, it's really like, because you can't warp using any of your X antibody line. Like, you can't use it with the Gilmon or any of the...
Oh, that's true.
So, like, none of the warp tamers do anything anymore if you're playing the new X antibody stuff. Like, it's going to be pretty rare for you to have, like, the targets and trash for it.
Yeah, because it doesn't say Guilmon or Groundmon in name. It just says Guilmon, Groundmon.
Yeah, and it only lets you warp into Gallantmon specifically, so you can't even warp into Gallant X.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd been too strong otherwise.
Yeah. Debatable. Then we have
Yeah, maybe not too strong.
7 Great Deems again. This guy's playing Luce X. 3 Unga Bungas.
Yeah, looks like 7 Great Demon Lords.
Yep. Solid. Then we have Purple Hybrid.
First and second.
Yep.
Place.
Yeah, back.
This looks very similar to the
Again,
list
with
we
that Gallant.
already saw.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
looks very similar.
Okay, he's playing the
I don't like
War.
how these decks are Tekken and Keenan Crier. Get that out of here.
Yeah. This guy's playing
That's
both.
better.
He's playing
There you
Medieval and BT13 Gallant.
He said, yeah, just guess which one I have.
Yeah.
Both.
Take a wild guess. What?
I'm gonna play this one for
Components?
free. Play this one at Vortex.
You can do
And
that.
Alliance.
Oh man. But congrats. Then let's see. Then we have the TAC Games Oceania Finals. Were we the only nationals that wasn't in EX8?
Probably.
Apparently, dude. Curious how different it would have been. 246 players, 8 rounds of Swiss. Yo, top 16, unknown. Rapid X.
He said, nah, don't dox me like.
Yeah.
Don't put me out like that.
He's like, I don't want people to know when I'm playing green. What the hell? He's playing Calamon, dude? No wonder he didn't want his name known.
For a
I
one,
mean, yeah, looks like your typical bunny list.
Yeah, you can go in a lot of different directions. He went in this one. I actually found myself doing this as well. He's not playing any Lopmons. Because it feels so bad evoing your level 4s for 4 memory. So bad.
I agree. Just go with like the full Terriermon line.
Yeah. Double Medieval Gallant. Good card. Good card is good. Congrats. Then we have a first purple hybrid, Jubs. God, dude. This website sucks.
He's playing Gallant and Gallant Ace.
He's playing Medieval Gallant, Gallantmon, Crimson Mode.
Yep.
How is like the Crimson Mode? I mean, it makes sense, but like, how are you gonna have enough? You'd have to Evo into this guy, and then wait an entire turn or hard play it for your opponent to not answer it, and then swing for game.
Well, I mean, they play enough purple memory boost and missed memory boost. Maybe if they just play the Gallant and then
Raid.
The Gallant has rush. Anything evoing on top of him does not.
Well, he could Digivolve into the Argomon, Digivolve into Medieval, and then Digivolve into it. I mean, that is a lot of memory.
I guess maybe. I don't know.
Or your opponent's like, there's no way he's playing that, and then you just, oops.
They just can't out the Medieval, so you just Evo.
I'm not gonna expect it.
Assuming you Evo into the Argomon for free, which is possible due to how many tamers you can have on the field. The rest of that is still a 7 memory play. Evo for 3 and then Evo for 4.
I mean,
they're starting at
you can do it all in one turn.
They're starting at 3. And then you activate a purple memory boost and miss memory boost. Boom. 4. 7.
Whatever. Next red hybrid player. Not. Oh, this is red hybrid, not purple hybrid. Okay. Medieval Gallant.
Nah.
Medieval Gallant. It's just gonna be a one of in literally every deck. Bare minimum, just one.
I hate this list. Alright, next
put it
deck.
in Ancient Omni. I'll do it.
Bro's playing Susan Ace and Blitz Omni. Why not?
Why not, indeed?
Congrats. 3-Guard Angels. Alright. Curious. Let's see what's going on here.
Sean's upset.
He's playing the Revelation of Light variant.
Yeah.
I was like okay working through this stuff besides the 2 big bunnies. But once I got to the Revelation of Lights, I was like, oh, I know what that means. Yep, Karis.
All the Karis.
Sad. Yeah, don't agree. That variant is Brick City. Also, what's with the 5 Tamas here, dude? Are you actually hatching your 5th Tama very often? I'm not. He's not playing Ukos.
I was about to say,
he's rookie either.
Also, this
rookie rushing his opponent down.
If your opponent has Mirage on the field and you're promoting a Patamon. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Magna X. Armor variant. Why doesn't the DNA variant top? I don't get it. It feels
no Flamemons.
Poor.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Sean. I think the DNA feels way stronger than this one.
Yeah, after playing both, like I just also this deck, due to like all of this stuff down here, like I just feel like you could draw an unplayable hand.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Like half your deck is just stuff that does things, but it requires other stuff to be in play for it to matter.
Yep.
Yeah.
There are cards that do stuff, but they don't do anything when you're not actively already playing the game.
Yeah. But congrats. Then we have Gallant X. Let's take a look. I can't wait to eat lunch after this.
Yeah, no, that seems pretty standard to me.
Yeah. I notice people aren't running the red purple ward growl. I feel like it's just so hard to cut that card because of how much value you get out of it, but it is hard to make room for the ward growl X, unfortunately. Congrats. Another Gallimon X. This guy's name is Gilmon Bread.
You wouldn't get that, Sean.
You're correct, I wouldn't.
I mean, fake fan. None of his Guillemons have bread in the art.
1 proto and then 2 X antibodies.
I mean, alright.
Yeah. Cool. This looks like
I mean, we said this was gonna happen with Gallimon. It's only gonna top because there's gonna be so much representation of it.
So many people just playing it.
Yeah, once people are prepared for the matchup, it's not gonna top anymore. Or it's not gonna top. You're not gonna see multiples in top. I think people are just unprepared for the matchup because it's not unbeatable, like by a wide margin. This is Mirage. This looks the same. This is a Mirage deck.
This is Mirage.
Playing Mirage. All right, Finry. Tamagotchi. Hey, he's playing Great Memory Boost.
That checks out.
Amazing.
Hey, finally.
Only 2 of them. I just wouldn't play the Ukos and I would just max this out. That's just me though.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the Uko does make you waste. No, I'm not gonna say waste a turn.
I mean,
but you do have to.
I think you're wasting a turn.
Yeah.
I think it just like, let's say you're going second and your only rookie is an Ukomon.
Right.
And you're at 2 memory. You have a Great Memory Boost and an Ukomon in hand. You cannot do both.
Can't do both.
That is one of the issues I have with it in this deck. I get why they play it, but like since you have this Great Memory Boost now, I feel like I would just play that.
Right.
Alright, then we have Purple Hybrid. This guy's playing all kinds of stuff. What the hell is this guy adding back? Oh my god. Does this add back Medieval Gallant? No. He's a Witchelney, not a wizard.
Oh, thank God.
So Evil Wizard Demon Lord. What
doesn't he...
Oh, I think one of these guys is a wizard. Yeah, Duskmon's a wizard.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I guess?
Just a little bit of recursion, you know, in case he doesn't see his mats.
He's also playing
How many of
Iron
it does
Mako
he
to search
play?
it. I guess Iron Mako does search Duskmon. Okay, I guess. I can see the vision. It's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Because you do need to see your Duskmon to start doing stuff. That's the first time I've seen this. This is actually kind of cool.
You know what? This is what happened.
Let me close my door.
This is what happens. This dude has weaponized the fact that Impmon has jamming. So he swings with the jamming Impmon.
The 1000.
And then, it lived? Alright, cool. Let me just Evo on top of it.
Yeah. It also does mill as an inheritable. It's like sometimes you are forced to Evo your hybrids on top of your rookies. It's not terrible. This is definitely an interesting decision. I don't hate it. It's like a memory boost, except for it's a tamer.
It's a tamer.
Yeah. How long does Chris gonna take to close his door?
Well, he probably talked to our mother. Oh, he got a Powerade. He didn't just close the door.
Wow, what a fibber, dude.
Bro went and got a whole drink.
Well, I was wondering why the dogs were barking. It was just my mom coming home from lunch.
Bro was talking about his refrigerator door.
What?
We have another Mirage
Why
deck.
you coming with that drink?
That is a Mirage deck. Then we have
just next.
Tyrannomon.
Oh.
Two Medieval Gallants, best card in the deck by so much. How similar is this to your list, Chris? I feel like it's pretty close besides these Ukos and this Gilmon.
Yeah, I don't play the EX1 Agu, I don't play the Uko, I don't play the Geo. And I don't play the Red Scrambles. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, Medieval Gallant, best card in the deck.
The Guilmon is kind of like... I guess if he was expecting to run into a bunch of purple hybrid players, you could just like play... You could just hard play and just like rush with it, I guess. Because, I mean, this deck's not milling.
Yeah, it's a weird choice.
What type is it? Is it a reptile?
I don't think so. It might be. Yeah, it is a reptile. Okay.
So, okay, at least he's digivolving for 2.
It equals for 1 on top of your Koros, though.
Yeah, so it doesn't even out. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't like the EX1 Agumon. Like, I get why people like it because you can search out your Ryotarus, and that's really important. Like that card is, but like, I feel like bottom decking everything else.
Yeah, besides your rookies, yeah.
Yeah,
it seems like a weird
else.
choice because like I didn't even run that in like OG Agumon.
Yeah, and even in this, it's like, oh, you're playing less Agumons because you're playing Ukos and the Geo. So it's like you're bottom decking even more now. So I don't get it.
1, 2, 3, 7, 8. Each one only has 12 targets in the deck.
See, I mean, it's bottom decking your top end. It's everything.
Literally everything. It's a weird decision. I don't understand why it's so popular.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Worked out for him. Finry. Let's see which version this is. The good one. Okay. 3 great memory boost. Okay. Boost. He's playing 3. That means he finished better.
That is how that works.
Yeah. The math be math.
More consistent means more consistent results.
Yep.
Crazy.
Still playing the Ukos, though. Then we have Mirage. Let's see what we got here.
That Mirage.
Yo, is that a Mirage deck? It is. Then we have Purple Hybrid second place.
Dang, back-to-back lists we're going to look at. The top 2 decks are Purple Hybrid.
Yeah. This guy's playing 2 Medieval Gallants. He said, screw that BT13 Gallant. It's not as good as this card. He's correct.
For real.
Other than that, nothing super kooky I see here. And then first place, Purple Hybrid.
You're playing Death X.
Yeah,
no medieval.
Hey, I mean,
no medieval Gallant.
It comes up.
What's going on here?
Wait,
man?
what?
He's poor. He couldn't get his hands on it.
He's like, I already have these secret rares. Are you telling me I have to buy another one?
I got the Death X. You want me
the
to
Death X too?
Awesome, man.
I paid $100 for this in BT9. Oh. Congratulations.
Gotcha. I still remember the night we pulled that set open. Me and Chris sold like an Altar Death X for supreme value. Good times. Good times.
Yeah, it says this event is still ongoing. We'll update when the day 2 results are in. This ended a week ago, almost. Still no results. It's whatever. He's a busy guy. I get it. Then we have Eagle's Nest.
February.
Yeah.
Is this the one you were in?
No.
Sean?
I was in PPG's case tournament.
PPG.
Yeah, it wasn't a win a box,
right.
dude. It was win multiple boxes.
Yeah.
So it was 42 players, 5 rounds of Swiss, 3 Gallant Nexus topped, and then we have a Purple Hybrid, 7 Great, D Brigade, Dex Doru, and Dark Masters.
What is going on?
Let's take a look here. All right, so Dark Masters ended 3-1-1. Oh, this is like a mother control Dark Masters kind of deal.
Yeah, he's got the chaos mode for GG's.
Bro's got the Medieval Gallant. That is one of the colors. Yeah, okay.
It's just this is just like ace deck. Like, go ahead, it's swing at me. I don't care.
I mean,
care, dude.
I got an answer for everything.
Mm-hmm.
like if you have the analog on the board, and you are able to promote one of your masters, you can just Mega Digi Assembly.
You can. That is an
It's so
interesting.
good.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. It looks like a cool deck.
I mean, that one time I played Dark Masters, I had fun.
Yeah, it's just a fun. It's just a. I'm just gonna. It's just back to
Megazoo.
Yeah, Mega Zoo. Which is just you're just giving your opponent a bunch of memory and saying, "Hey, can you deal with this?" No, okay. Dexdoru Black Base.
Yeah.
I wonder what
Play
the Shadow
Shadow
Seraphi's for.
Just to answer stuff.
Yeah, but like, what do you need to answer? This
I mean, if it's on
Digimon
top of
cards.
Mega
this
Ball,
guy already de-evos, and also he's effectively an ace because of how your fives work.
doesn't the Mega Dramon also have the inheritable D Evo?
He does. Yeah, he de-evos on the
So
swing.
you have D Evo out the booty.
He's like, I'm de-evoing you, dude.
I mean, let's be honest, no one's gonna expect it. You know how many people he probably caught off guard with it?
I would, dude, if my opponent shadows me instead of going into one of these doofuses, I would much rather have that happen. Because
Really?
this guy doesn't have any protection once he hits the field. And he gives me that juicy 4-memory rebate.
He is his own protection. What you mean?
No, he doesn't. D-Brigade. Interesting that this guy...
That's what I'm wanting to see. He's
Aegis.
like Aegis. That's so funny. With the Bloody Seed ones.
I was thinking about playing Aegis in Pyramidimon. He's a black card. Why not?
I mean, he is, but like... What?
What?
Yeah, just tech one in Pyramidimon. Why not?
Okay. You know what's funny about this guy? It's not like... It depends on the board state and how much memory you have, but how he keeps your opponent from activating on plays. Medieval Gallantmon, despite activating when he's played, is not an on-play effect.
Yeah, it's not an on play.
Not an on play.
It's just funny that you can bypass that because he's a stupid card, dude. They printed it's so dumb.
I think that's one of those cards that when we initially read, we weren't too high on. It was one. We also, I think, said that like we have to see what its actual play looks like, and then we can all agree it's definitely the best card in the entire set.
By far, dude. So
I mean, I think we all agreed to begin with that it was the best card in the set, just because that set is butt cheeks.
I think
No,
he
like,
meant
when we
the
had-
original reveal of it.
Yeah, when we initially read it, we were kind of all like, "Is this card gonna be any good?" And then I think when we actually did the set review, we were like, "Actually, this card's probably gonna be absolutely fire."
Yeah, after playing with it, this card's real dumb.
Yeah, it's again like when we do card reveals and stuff. It could be like it's a crapshoot. We don't know what the card's actually gonna look like until like it's actually being played. Like yeah.
I was saying, like, just looking at that set on paper, yeah, it's the best card in that set.
Well, we thought it was gonna be Gallon X or even the War Groundmon X, but Medieval's just a walking.
I think
can go in everything.
I think War Growlix is probably the second best card in the set, but yeah, Medieval Gallant's so far beyond either one of those.
Dang, you're telling me it's not Dinomon? That's crazy.
Hell no, dude. Dynamon sucks.
That's number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah, that was a
And
7th grade
set-
Digimon Ward. So we have the first of 3 Gallon X's. Let's see if this is. I'm starting.
No
to
Medievals.
Yeah, I'm starting to see a standardization happening here. This guy is playing a 2-2 Tama split. It makes me so mad.
All right, click off.
Get out.
Click off.
Get out. Yep.
Dog.
Get out.
off.
Why? I'm gonna deal psychic damage to my opponent. That's like you're playing against a deck that's not a blue deck, and the guy has 4 Tama, and he's like, "I need to shuffle. These are different."
What do you mean?
The guy's like,
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Are you running like a 3-1 split? Like, what do you? No, it's a 2-2 split.
50-50, dude. I either hatch this one or I hatch the other one.
Again, I don't like how these decks are playing Keen and Crier. Pull that up for me, Sean. What's it do again?
On play, your opponent may trash one tamer card or option card in their hand. If they don't, gain one memory and draw one. Opponent's turn. When an effect plays a Digimon by suspending this tamer, gain one memory.
Okay. I mean, I guess it's not that bad.
It's a very annoying card for them to play out off their Duskmon inheritable.
Right.
A lot of decks don't play options, or if they do, they want them in their hand.
Yeah, and I guess it works for the mirror match too.
No, the mirror. It's good for them to discard their tamers.
Oh, yeah, because they want to discard them. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Still hate him.
Yeah.
Actually, hold on, Brent. Check the price on his alt card. Has it gone up? I have like 4 of them. Sell them now.
Sell them. Then we have another Gallon X. This guy's playing 2 Cool Boys.
That's weird, but okay.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Yeah, no, just draw and gain memory.
Oh, he's not playing the Black Growlmon.
Makes sense. I mean, yeah.
How the heck do you spell that dude's name?
It's
K-E.
It's Keenan.
Keenan.
K-E-E.
Crier, because he's a crybaby.
K-E-E-N-A-N, and then Crier, spelled Crier.
Yeah, okay, I found it.
Then we have another Gallon X player.
I was trying to spell Crier with a Y.
Interesting. Also not playing Black Growl. He's playing a BT-17 War Growl. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Is it the 3 cost, the one I'm looking at?
Yeah, 3 cost.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Dang. It's not worth anything, is it?
It was $1. Made me go through all that for
Sad.
Come on, guys. Keenan Crier, best card in the entire game. Let's
So
pick that thing
broken,
up.
dude. He's crying.
Sean, you need to do a buyout. Buy out every copy of that.
Yeah, that'll turn a profit. But congrats.
Eventually.
No, there's no eventuality of that card turning a profit. There's
A lot of purple.
There's no guarantee Falcomon is ever going to be a good deck.
It doesn't matter about Falco. We're talking about purple hybrid here. A lot of purple hybrids. A lot of gallons.
I understand that, but purple hybrid randomly playing it as a one of in some decks is not going to make it go up a substantial amount.
Its stocks have never been higher. It's never seen play before.
God, so dumb. All right.
I think this is absolutely crazy that they did this, because don't you get the analog youth the same way you get the protoform?
Yes.
So why did it get an alt-art but the protoform didn't?
Weekly reveals.
Even the Shader mod has a different art.
For some reason, they decided to call this most recent event pack Special Event Pack 2025.
To disguise the fact that they're doing the same thing. Just to piss us
they're
off.
giving us more reprints that were in Japan's LM sets. Shout out Bandai. While this analog youth does look really cool,
yes,
it's not as cool as the other one, but it does look really cool.
I will say this is probably my favorite art for this card now.
yeah, it does look really nice. I'll have to see it in person. It'd be cool if it got textured, but it's in an event pack, and they still have yet to texture those cards for some reason. But this is a very pretty art. Yeah, what the hell is the Namamon doing there in the background?
He's part of the Digimon World.
Yeah, it's Digimon World 1.
Don't answer the question, dude. He just shouldn't be there. It was rhetorical. He just needs to not be there.
He deserves to be there.
Then
again, not alt-arted, because, again, guess why? Because it didn't in Japan.
Yeah.
Corporate needs you to find the difference between these photos.
Yeah, so they reprinted the LM version of the protoform once again in an event pack for the second time. Thanks, Bandai.
That'll make it easier to get, right? That'll make it easier to get, right?
Yeah, that's how you get these cards, right?
So, real quick, me and Sean, we did a little tradesy, a little trading of cards.
We did.
I had 1 Gallon X I was offering to him for 2 protoforms. Again, he got a couple other cards that he wanted as well. So we make the trade, we shake hands, and I look at him and I go, they will announce the protoform reprint probably within the next couple days, because I finally decided to get my last 2 to have a playset. Sean laughs and goes, no. They did announce a reprint, but thank God they did it this way, so I didn't take a massive hit.
Fortunately for you, they were just like, just kidding, it's going to be in another event pack, so it's not going to affect the price in any meaningful way. Thanks, Bandai.
Yep, thank you, Bandai,
So
actually.
dumb. Then we have regional participant pack reveals. We're starting to get floodgates with alt arts, very cool.
Nice.
People want this. People that had the EX7 foils of this and spent money on them are probably pretty upset about this.
Well, I like what they did with this is since it's such a small text that they kind of put it out of the way of the art, which is pretty cool.
It does make sense. I'm just talking about people that invested in this card thinking it's the highest rarity, and then they immediately,
right,
like a couple months later, just like, oh, it's not anymore, bud.
JK.
Yeah, just kidding.
That's the wrong number.
Yeah, and then literally no one asked for this. Another Quartzmon reprint. This was also in Japan's LM set, and now it's in the second consecutive event pack for us. Thanks, Bandai.
Again, not an alt art.
Yeah, again, the same. It's the same exact art that the Japan got in their LM set, just like the protoform.
You know the Bandai spy guy that like watches this podcast, and he's sitting there. He's like, "Dude, these guys, they're so ungrateful. They ask for reprints of this stuff.
They're so mean.
We give them. We give it to them.
Yeah.
They're never happy.
This is what the people wanted. They wanted us to print it again. We did. Kakuamon, another floodgate that doesn't see a lot of play because black sucks. It's a unique floodgate to black. That's cool that it got an alt art. Players can't ignore digivolution requirements. This pisses on warp decks, but other than that, I don't really think it does a whole lot in the current meta.
It doesn't care about the brackets. That's the problem. Like the brackets, you're still just like whatever, man.
Yeah, let's not ignore it. That's technically that's functionally the same thing as the circle color on the side.
Yeah, it's an alternate, not a reduction.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know that already, because I have ran into people in the locals who did not know that, it's an alternate, not a reduction.
Did someone put this? Did they have like a Cutemon on the field or something, and you like evoed with the black box, and they were like, you can't.
Yeah. And I was like, no, it's not how that works.
Yeah.
That was a while, but
yeah.
So another funny story about this one.
Another Shadramon reprint. I don't think this was in the LM set from Japan, so this is the first unique card we're getting. However, it's still going to be an event pack card, so this isn't going to affect the price in any meaningful way. Thanks again, Bandai.
I sold my copy to AJ on Tuesday for $50, and literally, I think the very next day, they announced this reprint. I laughed so hard.
Yeah, at least the price probably won't change.
It won't, but still, I just thought it was very funny.
Yeah, it is amusing.
I mean, yeah, and this one also got a little bit different art, so.
I mean, it just got the color border. That's all it got. It got the event pack color border treatment.
I like it.
Rivals Barrage also was in Japan's LM set with the color border, so this is just taken from Japan's LM set that we did not get. Rivals Barrage printed in the new event pack. This also did need a reprint. It's $10+, but
yay!
Yeah. So disappointing the way that they keep doing stuff like this.
Like, why couldn't we take the Analog Youth and like another tamer that needs a reprint, like Arena, and just make a product out of it? Like, make it a little $10 little thing you can grab, where it comes with an alt art, a reprint of something else, and like 2 packs of the latest set. Is that too much to ask for?
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh in you, Brandon.
That is way too much to ask for. How dare you?
Well, just like make money, man. Just make money.
Just get your free money.
Like, people see that in like a Target or like a Walmart, they're gonna buy it. The gift boxes are too much.
Look at this old man.
He do be an old man.
Yeah, it's a nice chihuahua.
He's old.
How
He's
old
so old he doesn't want to eat
he?
his dinner anymore.
For real.
Bro says peas and carrots are good for me. I don't want to eat that.
Peas are dope. Not a big fan of carrots.
You like,
I like both.
peas?
Hell yeah, I like peas, dude. Peas are lit.
Yeah, I definitely
Peas
like
are awesome.
eating a mushy nutsack in my mouth. What the hell?
Oh, that's a weird thing to say, dude. I just like peas. I mean, it's a free country, though. You're welcome to like wet nuts in your mouth.
Yeah, no one said anything about wet nutsacks.
Yeah, no one mentioned wet nutsacks. That's all you.
I especially love taking a carrot with 2 peas right next, and you eat all 3 of those at the same time.
Like
no
all at
carrots. No carrots.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Are you one of those people who can do like a raw carrot and not cooked carrots?
You're talking to him, huh?
Both.
Yeah. You like both? See, I don't like cooked. I think they get too mushy. I don't like a mushy mouthfeel. But a raw carrot, dip it in a little bit of ranch.
Are you sure you don't like a mushy
That's
mouthfeel?
fun.
You mentioned liking wet nutsacks in your mouth earlier.
I literally just
I
said
would-
I hate peas.
I would
and then said
imagine.
they were like eating a wet nutsack.
I actually am the opposite.
Like that. I've said exactly I've said they're bad.
I'll eat cooked carrots, like in stews and stuff. Although I'm not a huge fan of stew, but I do not like raw carrots. Like I can eat them, but I just don't like. It's just a lot of work, dude. It's like eating celery, but like not quite as bad.
Yeah.
Celery just tastes like water.
Yeah, and
Alright,
you're chewing it
got
up
on
forever,
the-
and it ends up in strands in your mouth, and you're just like, "Am I supposed to spit this out?" It feels like I'm not done chewing.
People are like, eat it with peanut butter. Well, I just want the peanut butter.
Yeah, you're literally just swallowing the
Peanut
peanut butter, and then you're still left with the celery in your mouth, and you're still chewing it forever.
Alright, what we got on these comment questions? What are we
Alright.
doing?
Comment questions. Force Magna L6V. Since everyone else seems to be offering, our locals also wrote up a 2v2 format. I can share it if you would like. Ours sounds like it might be a little different, though, where the partners share the turn instead of each person getting a turn. We did try each person gets a separate turn, but decided this route was more fun for us. I'd be curious how that would work. Might be something we could definitely do it at Tuesday locals if we convince them to do it. Because I'm sure Tuesday locals they would actually be willing to do fun stuff like that.
Yeah, they'd actually be down for it.
Yeah. Kyle New 9278. You got me with his ancient toolbox deck. Definitely different. Gonna have to build it myself.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely a deck that you cooked up where I was like, hey, that's pretty cool.
It is. Unfortunately, it loses to wall decks, but other than that, it's very fun. SC Marth, I've seen other videos on ban list predictions recently. What do you guys think will be in the next ban list? And are there any banned or restricted cards you think could come back?
Man, you might have to
I think we can talk about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
stick around for a future episode coming up, because we may be making a whole episode dedicated to this coming up.
Yes. Next week will be a ban list predictions video. So we'll just save our discussion for then. But it is a good question.
Hit Mirage.
Okay, calm down, bud.
Bring back HVD.
No!
Shut the hell up. I'm gonna
Take
mute
your
you.
goofy hair and get it out of here.
I think I can. I'm pretty sure I can mute you in this call to where we can't hear you anymore. Dino Wrestler EX8 Tyrannomon isn't worth the random play. BT14 Tyrannomon does lower all the cost, but the most important part, end of turn, you get to attack, so you can hard evo to level 5, and if you only have one Ryutaro, you can still finish swing with Dynamon.
Agreed.
Bio0ZX. According to the promo Dremogamon Q&A, yes, even the breeding area can unsuspend, so now we know.
That's right. Is that the Jormogamon we got in the little Ellen
Yeah.
The
thing?
guy that ducks back into the raising area.
Yeah.
That would make sense, because if he swung, he would be suspended when he went back to raising. Okay. That is a very useful information. Now we don't have to wait for a separate Q&A. Although I'm sure there's going to be one for that, just because, who the hell is going to look up Dremogamon and even know that that's another card that it would come up in? D-Lacy 1895. I didn't realize it made my comment twice. That's why I said, dude, YouTube does that sometimes where it just double posts your comment. It's happened to me before. That's what I
was
knew.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was funny as hell.
With Necrotic debuting, I have a feeling that purple is going to go down the same route as blue. in parentheses Mirage. All these generic effects may be a problem. Also, slight rant. I hate how Bandai will make a keyword just to abandon it with a new power crept effect, i.e. evade being replaced with suspending your Digimon so it doesn't leave the field. Exit being the example. Don't do that.
I'm just going to interject in the middle of that comment that says, this may be a problem. This has been the problem with Purple since before EX5, but especially in EX5. They printed Anubis, generic. They printed Gabu X, I guess, too generic. Ooh. Garu X, too generic.
Mm-hmm.
Purple has been had too many too generic effects. People are literally just like, yeah, the Dark Animal engine. It's a generic engine you can use in any Purple Good Stuff deck.
Yeah.
Purple has already hit that ceiling. The problem
Purple
is...
and blue have always like run a similar line with me, where like they're obviously the two best colors.
Because they have so much
With
draw
like
power.
yellow.
They're both
with, like,
the draw
yellow
power
kinda-
colors.
Yeah, kind of trailing behind it.
Well, yellow doesn't have access to the draw power, but yellow has access to some really powerful effects.
Yeah, and the
secondary
second hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that, yeah, you do have access to a second hand if your opponent hasn't killed you yet, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then when it goes to the second part about the keyword, yeah, I think that's kind of dumb too. Like, literally having evade, but then just giving Examon evade, but better. Like,
I actually like the power crept keywords, personally.
Yeah.
can we just take the keyword and like add something to it to make it like, oh, that's the upgraded version of that keyword? Like, imagine
That's functionally what they did.
well, I'm saying like, but still make it the keyword.
No,
like, evade
that's dumb.
plus.
You're asking them to errata keywords. That's stupid. I don't like that.
No, it's
Well,
not a
I
rata.
didn't-
It's saying make it a keyword. Like, you know how we used to get shut up, Chris, I'm still talking. You know how we got Chaosmon? And then like the next set we got Blitz? Remember that?
Alright, so anyways,
Yeah.
So imagine it taking evade and then making a new version of evade. You still have evade, but this is a better upgraded version of evade that's still a keyword. So it would be like
So you're
evade plus.
so
or
you're
something
saying-
stupid like that.
You're saying just make it a keyword instead of making it a written out effect on the
Yes.
card? I mean, yeah.
But, like,
I wouldn't want it to be
have
called
it have-
evade plus because I feel like that would be confusing for players. But yeah, I mean, it'd be nice
Yeah.
if it were just a keyword.
Because, like, what's the point of giving you a keyword if you're just going to make a better version of the keyword later,
Power creep.
and it's
obviously.
not a keyword?
power creep.
I get that, but, like, just make it a keyword.
I'm still very confused why they went from Digiburst to Fragment. Like, why couldn't they just call it Digiburst? Why did they have to create a whole different word for it?
Well, it's a different effect.
I mean, still, it's
You could have
very
worded
strange.
it to where you still do
They-
the same thing.
Yeah, it could have been like, when this Digimon would be deleted, Digiburst 3.
Yeah.
Verse 3.
Yeah, that is true. But I think they
I literally-
avoided that to avoid you being able to use too much of the old Digiburst support, because one of the cards you could have played in the deck... I know. One of the cards you could have played in the deck, if it was worded like that, is the BT4 Sonorizamon that goes back to your hand when it's Digibursted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is it a rock or a mineral?
It is not.
Not searchable.
It's not
I mean,
searchable.
you could search it with, like, memory boost, obviously, but, like...
But once it was in your hand, dude, it never leaves.
Imagine
Infinite
you drew cards.
Yeah,
Imagine decks like Mirage, Purple Good Stuff, Yellow Vaccine, DNA, Magna. They just have infinite resources anyway.
yeah.
Imagine.
I get why they didn't want. I think they just wanted to leave Digiburst dead and buried, and that's why they just completely changed it. But yeah, I can see how that'd be a little annoying though.
What do you think the next deck to get fragments going to be?
Yeah, it'll never. It won't get another deck. It'll just be support for this one.
It does seem
Think we
like it's
just
going to be
leave it?
archetype locked into that deck just because of how they work and like with the
It's
types.
It's called fragment because they're rocking minerals. Like
Yeah.
you're fragmenting a rock, and like it's so dumb, but whatever.
Yeah,
I see. I hate that too. Like, why make a new keyword if you're only ever going to put it in a singular archetype?
maybe it's going to be Black's new archetype that's good.
You have a lot of hope.
I don't. I said maybe.
I'm sorry. Hope. You have a lot of hope.
Yeah. Oops, all Agumon. How big is your locals? It depends. Last night we had 12 people.
Yeah, it's anywhere from 14 to sometimes 8.
Yeah. Just
It
depends.
depends on who's able to come.
Yeah.
There are some weeks where, like, we used to have a group that used to come every week, but I guess they kind of got sick and tired of their BT12 decks losing to BT16 decks.
They were like, Magna X too good. Don't want to play anymore.
So we lost a couple players there. We haven't seen them since.
Yeah.
But we've gained a few extra players. Shout out to Dante and Robbie.
Robbie's been going for like a year, dude.
Yeah. It's also because we do it on Friday nights. It's just like awkward timing for some people, which is why Tuesday nights we could actually have the people who can't play on Fridays play with us on Tuesday. So.
Yeah, and we just started doing that, so that one might end up being bigger on average than the Friday night locals. Just depends.
Yeah. I'd say it's a pretty average locals.
Yeah. At least we have a locals. I'm just thankful for that. Blind Owl 123. I believe the eating your opponent's card joke comes from it reportedly happening in a Pokemon high level event. That is wild.
I thought it was a Yu-Gi-Oh event.
And that sounds like something that would happen at a Pokemon event.
You're probably not wrong. But no, I distinctly remember hearing a story about that where somebody was like, reached over, ate the card, and then called a judge. But I guess he managed to get away with it without like his opponent noticing he just ate the card. I don't know how you do that, but
that sounds unbelievable.
Maybe he was like,
what is that over there?
Like,
just, look, what's that? I do not make vids yet. Dynamon did top 16 at Oceania Nats as well. It's not that cope. Yes, it's
still pretty cope.
It's 100% cope, dude.
It's still pretty cope.
The issue with decks like that come out and then they catch people off guard and they manage to top an event like that, like Heavy Leo in the past, is once people are prepared for that matchup, it's no longer good because the deck is not that powerful.
They know what it does.
Yeah, I know what your deck does. I'm not going to misplay into it. It's not that good anymore. That's the advantage of decks like that, where sometimes they can sneak into a top. It doesn't completely suck. It's just not a tier 1 deck. Green Hill
Mario.
Mario.
You tell Caden be quiet.
I'm messing with them. I gotta stop.
Green Hill Mario. The BT20 Dimimera adding back the or whatever ghost you want on deletion to guarantee material for loop or follow-up is so cracked. I saw a line where someone evoed into Tamer, Placer, and back and had 3-cost Violet on the field, evoed up to Necro to execute, summon Ghost of Search, add back Tamer, Placer, Violet to evo into Tamer, Placer, place another Violet, while maintaining turn because of the Ghost Bakuman deletion inherits. The deck has super good linear lines, at least, so I'm excited to try it. Also, I really don't like that the A.G. Alexander alt art. I love the artists, but their Tamer arts are not my favorite. BT20 Shoto is also weird.
Hey, another purple weird loop deck that Ben's gonna want to try and play.
Purple combo.
I'll believe it when I see it in action.
Fergus Halliday 9662. Thoughts on Numemon in the current format?
Exactly what we said was going to happen happened. They nerfed it. They didn't completely kill it. They nerfed it. And then because it was no longer the tier 1 top tier strategy, everybody dropped it like a bad habit. Not to mention it was also fatigue. People were tired of it.
It is very similar to Beelzemon, because they only hit 1 card for Beels as well.
I mean, technically, we could look at it and be like, oh, the Ukomon, but the Ukomon was more of a generic blanket hit of just like, okay, this is a bit problematic.
It was.
I think we're talking about Numemon, right? Yeah. The card they hit in Numemon was way more key than the one in like Beelzemon.
Yeah, and Beels completely fell off as soon as they limited the Impmon. And it was someone SC Marth responded, as long as there are Gallant players in the meta, Numemon will struggle. That is very accurate. They would feast on a little baby board and gain so much memory back from killing all your little stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And even if your thing floats into something else, they're just going to kill the something else.
Yup.
Right.
It may have had a shot at being like okay prior to the Gallantmon X stuff from EX8, but now that Gallantmon's going to be popular, yeah, this SU math is right.
Imagine medieval Gallant hitting the board and popping a bro. Oh, float? Thanks.
Yep.
What do you mean, thanks? Alright, now wipe your board.
Dude, evoing into Medieval Gallant is so much better than hard playing it if your opponent has something that floats. It's so broken.
Floating, yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Because you get to trigger the one Digivolving twice. It's so good.
Go ahead.
And then you get to Vortex into something. It's dumb.
Yeah, on Fort.
Yep. Planty Boy. Gallant, Magna, and OmniX all got that 2-star art as a reference to the old card game. It's likely only those 3 who are getting it. That's really disappointing.
Dang.
I would have preferred everybody get it, including Lord Demon X, but...
I would love an Old Force. Give me an Old Force with that type of art. Oof. We eating.
Bruh, Old Force would go hard with that art.
I hate you.
Sean, are you going to tell them what you accidentally did last night? I even got Sean doing it now with the Alter.
Oh my god. I said Alter S when talking about your Alter B you had in hand. I was telling Chris, as soon as she swung with her dom and it died to security, I walked over to Chris and said what she did, and I was like, she loses now because he has Alter S in his hand. And I was like, damn, you got me doing it.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, I was like, I meant Alter B.
You son of a... You know what you're doing, you piece of crap.
Gene Munoz 5903. Everyone, I am sorry, Gallantmon, for not believing you. I still don't believe in it.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry, and I still don't believe in it. Rely T the World. Are we getting that deck list, Sean? I'm super interested in it. Yes, we are. It's been posted. The Great Pupy one.
If you're a channel member, you get it sooner.
Yeah.
That's right, dude. If you're a channel member, you get access to videos early.
I love this comment.
The Great Pupy one. Who the fuck still plays this trash ass game? LMAO. This TCG fell off hard around BT6. LMAO. Response. Adaptive reasoning.
Oh,
My man wants to go back to vanilla tempo. He refuses to read more than one sentence.
Damn.
And then Dino Wrestler. What's it like to be stuck playing Caveman Yu-Gi-Oh every time a game gets a few effects?
I want to know the type of people who like click on something they're not interested in just to hate comments
and take the time to post a comment. I'm like, okay.
His algorithm literally had to suggest this to him. So, like, what's that say about him?
You know what's funny is when you engage with content you don't like, your algorithm will show you more of it. So that's why you just ignore things you don't like and move on. So your algorithm's not like, oh, they did stuff. Yeah. Nothing else needs to be said. I appreciated those responses. I thought they were funny.
That's funny.
Funny as hell.
GoBoy TM 4676. I actually also played Alter S in my local. I wish the rookies gave the choice to either put at top or bottom of the deck because I would always have my top deck be a bunch of cards I don't want. Still really enjoy the deck regardless. That is part of the problem. Yes.
Oh, I just revealed 3 option cards that aren't going to get me to combo. Okay.
Yep.
Here we are.
You reveal triple tamer and you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything for 3 turns. Cool.
It's a shame I don't have an Heir of Dragons in hand right now. That would be real nice.
Yep. Yeah, that's
one of those situations where you're like, all right, BT12 Agumon.
Yes. It was nice playing both because if that ever happened and I had the memory, I'll just play the BT12 and be like, I'm getting rid of those cards.
Yeah, let's go gambling.
Away from me.
Yeah. Benjamin Wiseman 6567. Sean, rather than waiting to play Alphamon or Yukon Ace and Angels, you could be playing Ultimate Chaosmon right now. Tribumon and any yellow level 6 can DNA into him. I actually am aware of that. One of my first iterations of Angels prior to Dallas had Ultimate Chaosmon in it. And it was fun to do. However, I decided to go... I moved towards a more consistent list and ended up having to cut it because of it.
Here's the thing, Benjamin Wiseman, alright? Sean is going to mention every single time a card can go into Angels. Does not mean he's going to play it.
Correct.
He will say, I can play this in this deck.
Yes.
Doesn't mean he will.
It doesn't mean I want to play it in there.
Every time.
Yep.
Every time we're going through reveals and you see something that's Greymon or Angel adjacent, get a shot glass ready because it's
Or
going to be
if it's a yellow
time.
warrior. If it's a yellow warrior
Yeah.
as well, I'll be like, Lord Nightmare can play this for free.
Yeah. Bro, that's a drinking game if I've ever heard one.
That's how my brain works. Crimson 35124. Medieval shuts out Davis and Kim, but Imperial players can also play Medieval. Yeah, that's true. If they see it first, it will trigger whenever they play Hornmon Vmon with Davis again, plus giving Medieval a free alliance target, which will DNA anyways into an unsuspended Pyodramon. Also, their Medieval probably will have partition while yours won't, lol. Very true.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's almost like they were both playing it last night.
Yeah. Did you end up bumping it to 2, or were you still playing 1?
No, I just played the 1.
Me too. I only played 1.
When I added, which is crazy, when I added the Jade memory boost and had replaced the Primos with blue scrambles on your suggestion, I was like, I just don't have the room for it. It was funny though. I went home last night and ended up watching your deck profile, and I was like, dang, that's pretty funny. I'm not playing the hand jobs, and I'm still playing like Blitz Omnimon.
Mistake, dude. You got to be playing the hand gibbers.
HJs are so good.
If they have a field and they're like, all right, you can't swing with your Magnex or I'm gonna ace you. You can just be like, okay, 7 memory, clear your board anyway. Can you deal with a Magnex with no field? Oh no, you can't. Oh, that sucks for you. My turn again.
But I can all the time. I just eat their cards.
I'm telling you, dude. Hand gibbers are the wave. Jesus, dude. Henrique Crizo Mendonça 4193. Dynamon the card continues to outperform its initial evaluation. It is a solid niche in being an aggressive deck that can keep both Purple Hybrid and Lugia in check and set up a wall to stave off low to the ground aggression. I wouldn't be quick to dismiss the card or deck list as a whole just yet. That is a very thought out comment and I appreciate it. However, it is very similar to how Heavy Leo was when it originally came out, where people were just caught off guard by it.
You're just a hater.
Dude, you literally just... Hard play Pillowmon. Alright, kill your Dino Bee, or Dinomon, whatever the hell. Oh, Partition, or Fortitude? Whatever the hell happens?
Nope.
People are just going to play more of the play-by-effect floodgates if they have access to them, and just be aware of how to deal with it.
Yeah, but then when I pick up their card and eat it, my Dynamon gets to come back.
It is a decent deck. It's a solid tier 2 strategy, I think. And it can high roll you and like chunk your security, and if you're not prepared to answer it immediately, you just lose to it. But
I will say
it's just not
picking up and eating your opponent's card is a very Tyrannomon move.
Yep.
Yeah. Solid deck.
I agree with Sean. It's a tier 2 deck that can like keep some of those strategies like down a little bit, but it's never going to see the representation enough to where it will like consistently get results, but it will see some results.
I think it saw quite a bit of representation in that event that it topped.
Yeah. It's tier 2 with favorable matchups into certain tier 1s.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It loses hard to blue. Like, it doesn't have... the Metal Tyrannomon, like, protects you for 1 turn, but then after that, they're just like, okay, bounce it.
They're just, like, cheeks open.
Yeah.
Prepare.
Oreo X...
Can't fortitude that.
You cannot. Oreo X 1000. See, Gallantmon can hang with Angels, but man, is that matchup rough. BT12 Gallantmon and BT19 Takado make that matchup far more favorable because they can't protect themselves with Dom. Obviously, in the case of BT12 Gallantmon, you need to have X antibody and sources to avoid being aced. A good Angel player would be able to deal with this. That is correct. I played 2 Gallantmon players, one of which was our national champion in the case tournament, and neither one of those matches were close. So, like, I think if the Angel player knows what they're doing, which some people just, no offense to Angel players, some people just get hard carried by that deck because of how broken it is into certain strategies. That they're not used to having to deal with situations where your opponent can do stuff to you, which is a shock to the system when it first happens, but eventually you get used to it, and sometimes it's correct.
You get so used to being untouchable, whenever somebody actually threatens to touch you, you're like, oh, Oh, I didn't like that.
I don't know how to
Stay
approach
away,
this
stay
matchup. You can
away.
do things, yeah.
Stay away.
Like, sometimes it's correct to let your Dom die, or let things die whenever your opponent tries to do it in certain matchups. The Gallantmon matchup is a matchup where it is correct sometimes to let them kill things. Specifically with Gallantmon X, it's probably almost always correct to let whatever they target with it pop it so it doesn't get the unsuspend. Cargo Largus. For what it's worth, I only ran 2 Medieval Gallants in my Dynamon list. This is the gentleman that beat me round 2 in the case tournament. Good player. Dynamon was in his deck, technically, but the card I lost to... the card I lost to in that match was literally Medieval Gallant. It was on the field both games that I lost.
Good.
Just saying. And I don't even think Dynamon was on the field either. It was just Medieval Gallant.
Just Medieval.
Yeah. B-Red and Esto. Bro loses to Dynamon. I didn't lose to Dynamon, though. Okay, bro. Yeah.
Literally.
That is exactly what happened. Technically, I lost to a Dynamon deck, if you want to get that out of me, but I didn't lose to Dynamon the card. I lost to Medieval Gallantmon the card.
The deck profile will say Dynamon.
It will, yeah. If you look at the deck profile, it will say Dynamon. However, the card in it that I lost to...
The Carfax will read Medieval Gallant.
Yes.
The card that actually turned sideways to kill me was not, in fact, Dynamon.
Yes. Every game that I lost during the case tournament, Medieval Gallantmon was on my opponent's field. And I think it was 3 games total, but Medieval Gallantmon was on the field every single time. Mathabel5236. I think saying that Gallant isn't good is somewhat incorrect, but also true. A thing that I usually take into account is that in 2.5 they get the new Groundmon that lets you play for free Takatos, plus the new Takato setter that gives raid and lets you attack. But even if that isn't enough, we know that we will be getting more Gallant support in BT21, but who knows, maybe it falls off. I think that support makes it even... The 2.5 stuff is going to make it actually, I think, a solid tier 1 strategy. I think right now... it's still got some tough it's still got some tough matchups that are in tier 1, but it can absolutely just devastate tier 2 strategies and other strats that just don't have good matchups into it. I don't think it's a bad deck, I just don't think it's like a solid tier 1 strategy just yet.
It's not the deck yet.
Yeah, it's seeing representation like crazy, but I don't think it the actual power level warrants it.
Yeah. Like, if they make a new, like, super good Greymon line, it's going to see a lot of support just because, like, people want to play that.
Yep.
Like, people are going to... It's going to see a lot of representation just because, oh, this is popular.
Dude, imagine after it gets the new support 2.5 and we have, like, 3 or 4 months of it being, like, best deck in format. I don't think it's actually going to happen. But if it does, people are going to be like, Gallantmon the card game.
Gallantmon the card game.
I'm sick of this Gallantmon the card game. Yeah. I do not make vids yet. Gallantmon is Cope. It just won Oceania Nats, and I was there. Sadly, I didn't top 16, only got 28th. Congratulations. Still think it's Cope. I bet money it had at least a 30% representation in that field.
Oh, for sure.
And that is...
Because everyone loves
like
that. Everyone loves Gallant.
It was probably closer to 50. And if you have a deck that is... basically an okay tier 1 strategy like Fringe tier 1 with a 50% representation, it's probably gonna do very well because there are people, because variance is a thing. If enough people run the deck and enough people high roll, like someone is gonna high roll all the way to the top. And
You're
that
definitely
deck,
a skilled player, but you were also definitely lucky.
That is true. In order to win an event, you're probably good, you're definitely lucky. Yeah, if you high roll with that deck, you can put people on a clock like on turn 3, and that is very scary. Even decks that can answer your stuff, it's still going to be a struggle for them to do it that quickly. The issue with that deck is that's not going to happen very often because you're playing a red deck, and a lot of times playing against the deck, they were just setting up like trainings and memory boosts and stuff for like 3 or 4 turns before they actually promoted and did things.
Right.
That's plenty of time if your deck can't answer them to be able to prepare for it. That was the last one, Chris.
Yeah, Brandon. Just
Nice.
Well, Brandon knows that's the last one because he reads along. I was telling you because I know you don't. Because you can't.
I already knew. I knew.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
I cannot wait to eat lunch. I'm so hungry.
Yeah, go ahead, Brandon. It's lunchy time.
Yeah. All right. Bet. Local list, weekly reveals, common questions. Yeah, that's happening.
Also, best card in the Gallantmon deck is Wargrowl X. It's not Gallant
Oh
X.
yeah, by far.
What if you're playing medieval?
Then it's the medieval Gallantmon, but Wargrowl X is the card that archetype actually needed because it lost so hard to blue.
Yeah.
The issue is it's only for a turn.
Yep.
But because of the ability to chunk your opponent's security, it can actually just power through blue, just in the 2 turns it takes to kill them. But that's the best card in the deck now. If you don't see it, you lose.
Correct. God, Chris, I hate you. Just looking at you, just hate.
Okay.
I just don't get it.
Stupid hair.
It's your stupid
That
face.
guy commented. That guy commented about your hair, and it pissed me off.
Is it because
Legitimately
those same
comment
people comment about it when you shave? And they don't say nice
Probably.
things?
They call me ugly, and then you got him doing this with his hair, and it's like, oh, dude, it's looking good, Chris. It's like, I know you're making that comment just to piss me off. I know you are.
I mean, for all I know, all of those people are Chris's burner accounts.
All of them. Nice.
Excellent.
Always got to squeeze the Lord of the Rings reference in there.
Yes, you did.
All right. I'll see you, boys.
All right, later.
Yep. See ya.
Boy.